Hello and welcome to this short video which is looking at the Snap e-tutoring service. My name's Michelle and I'm the lead Snap e-tutor. If you've got queries or you'd like to make a booking, you can email me on tuition@snap-services.org. The Snap e-tutoring service has been running now for over 12 months and we've had lots of very positive feedback from our students. We're sharing here with you a couple of pieces. So the first student saying, just wanted to let you know that I passed with 100%. I remembered all your techniques, remained calm and heard your voice in every question. All I can say is thank you and thank you. I know without your tutorial this would not have been possible. And that's from a third year student who came to us after initially failing her third year clinical numeracy test. The second student here then says, seeing the tutor show the working out of sums was clear, and I found her explanation simple and easy to understand. She also gave me advice on reading the question through twice and then highlighting the requirements, which sounds simple but makes things much clearer when overwhelmed with the question initially. I have another session booked and will continue to use the service until I'm confident with drug calculations. So this feedback highlights a key aspect of the tutorial service. What we'll try to do is to share with you a method that you can use in tackling all different types of calculation, so that when you approach an unseen question, you can be confident that you've got a method that can work for you. In terms then of who uses the tutorial service, well, we're used by different types of student. So we're used by nursing undergraduates who are preparing for their clinical numeracy test that they sit in each of the 3 years of their degree course. We're also used by qualified staff to provide assurance of numerical confidence and competence. So for example, we've done some work with district nurses who are preparing for their non-medical prescribing clinical numeracy examination. We also work with pre-entry students, so for example students on access to nursing courses who want to prepare to sit the pre-entry numeracy tests that are now set by many universities. What then is an e-tutorial? Well, it's an internet session with an experienced tutor. We're used to working with students who find numeracy difficult. We're friendly and patient and quick to develop a rapport with you. A key aspect of the tutorial service is to be able to offer you different ways of tackling a question. So if you've been shown a conventional method before and finding that difficult to work with, we'll try and show you a different way of tackling the same question. Typically our tutorials last an hour and very much focus on your particular areas of concern. A variety of slots are offered covering daytime, evening and weekends, and as of April 2016 the service is provided free of charge. In terms then of the focus and the outcome from a tutorial, what we're focusing on with you is how to approach questions, how to break them down so that you can tackle them and find them more manageable. That very much is based around you practicing questions with the tutor during the tutorial session. And what we're looking for from the tutorial is to increase your confidence and understanding, because that in turn should lead to more accurate answers. We all want a 100% pass rate, and ideally for you to be passing your test first time. In terms of our experience then of the types of difficulties that students typically experience, we've highlighted here 4 main areas. Panic is a big one for many students, and the feelings of panic or anxiety may manifest themselves into feelings of not knowing what to do with a question, rushing straight into a question perhaps without thinking about it too much, making silly mistakes that you wouldn't ordinarily make, and perhaps not having enough time or not wanting to check your answers. From our experience, quite often that's coming from something that we're calling here question fog. That's the feeling that you get when you look at a question and just haven't got an idea of where you want to start with it. By helping you to develop a method so that you can break questions down into more manageable chunks, that should help to remove question fog and also the feelings of panic associated with it. Another thing that we find quite often with students is that many students try to do too much in their heads, so they try and do too much mental arithmetic, relying solely on their brain rather than making full use of pen and paper to record some workings. Workings can help to focus your mind on the really important areas of a calculation and also help you to keep your answers accurate. The final area here then that's highlighted is that many students perhaps fail to prepare for the other areas relating around an exam. So for example, it's a good idea to make sure you check out all of the exam arrangements. How long is the test going to last? Where is it? How are you going to get there? But also the things that are important for the test itself. Are you allowed to use a calculator? What type of calculator can you use? Is it going to be a paper-based test, or is it going to be a test that you're required to sit electronically? All of those things are important in terms of your preparation, as well as things like making sure you get enough sleep, have eaten well, and are well hydrated for at least 48 hours before you actually sit your test. How then can an e-tutorial help you? Well, as I've said, we very much tailor the sessions to you as an individual. We're quite often looking at general numeracy areas that cause students problems. Typically, that involves dealing with conversions and also multi-step questions. Popular general numeracy areas with students involve fractions, decimals and percentages, as well as being able to recognise and work with ratio type questions. We'll work with you to teach you how to break down and tackle clinical questions, and that's both in terms of the basic questions and the more complex multi-step problems. We'll use questions from the SNAP website which have been drafted by clinicians, and we'll also, where appropriate, use with you published university sample papers that are in the public domain. In terms then of what happens after a tutorial, well, we'll encourage you to question practice using the SNAP website. There are also follow-on tutorials and question practice sessions available if you need those, and again we'll encourage you to feed back to us on how you're getting along. I've got here another couple of pieces of feedback from other students. So the first student saying, "It's an excellent service that has helped me improve in areas where I had weaknesses. My tutor explains well various ways of tackling problems and ensures that understanding is gained. I'm very grateful." And finally here then, I got an email from my lecturer this morning stating that I got 100%. Thanks a million, I wouldn't have achieved this without your help. Please remember that the services SNAP offers are here to help you. You can have a look at what we've got available by going onto our website. You can contact our admin office on this address here, and they can provide you with SNAP logins and also have a wealth of information about the services we offer. If you'd like to book in for a tutorial or have specific questions in relation to tutorials, you can contact me on this email address. Alternatively, you can look at the SNAP Education section of our website. Thank you and good luck.